So we're going to start looking at darts. So darts are fundamental to dressmaking because they are the thing that contours the body. You will find darts typically where you have a rounded part of your body. So in the instance of your torso, you may have a dart that's pointing towards the apex of your bust or your shoulder blade. You also will find darts on waists, in skirts, in trousers. You might even find one on the tip of your elbow. But the idea is that you are sewing a little bit of fabric together to a point to curve everything upwards, and I'm going to demonstrate that with this pattern piece I've got in front of me. So on this pattern piece, you'll see darts marked out like this, and it'll look a little bit overwhelming initially because there are normally lots of different graded sizes that come with patterns, and therefore you've got all the different darts that correlate with each size. But in this instance, this is a bodice that we're looking at, and it has two darts. It's got one coming up from the waist and one coming in from the side seam. So what you would need to do is find the corresponding dart for the size that you are cutting, and these are normally labelled, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem. So the idea is that when you're sewing a dart, you are sewing the dart edges together. So these are actually called the dart legs, and we're going to the point which is in this instance there. So if I just fold that, just to give you a bit of an understanding of what we're looking for, I'll pop a pin in that as well. You should hopefully be able to see that creates a curve on the pattern, and the wider the dart, the more intake is underneath and the more it will contour around the body. So darts are really important to dressmaking. So we're going to start looking at how to sew a dart into position, and there's lots of information out there and lots of different ways you can do it, but I'm just going to show you a couple of tips and tricks on how I sew darts into position. So what I've got in front of me is a kind of very shrunken down pattern of a bodice, and it's got actually the dart positionings from the waist and on the side, just like the pattern we were initially working with. So I've already tailor tacked. So you would have noticed that at the dart point there would have been a tailor tack point, and I have tailor tacked this to save us a little bit of time today. The other thing you want to do is you want to mark where the darts are against the edge. So this is the dart base, and we want the legs of the darts to be clearly identified because we'll be folding these together. So I'm just going to use a pair of snippers, and I'm going to snip probably about 5mm or about 1/8 of an inch, just to indicate where the edges of the darts are. Okay, and obviously if you are tailor tacking, you also want to make sure that any other important pattern markings are transferred before you remove your pins. Right, so I'm going to cut the loops, and I've unpinned the pattern, and I'm going to release that very carefully like so. Okay, and then I'm going to open up my garment piece. So you'll get very good at tailor tacking. Okay, so I'll just snip that. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at these darts here. So what's important to note is that this is the waist and this is the side, and the dart point that is lower down correlates with the waist dart, and this one correlates with the side dart. It's very easy to get these two confused. So one tip that can be used is to use different colour thread to do your tailor tacking, so you know exactly which dart you're working with. So we're going to start with the sewing the waist darts, and one thing I'm going to do is indicate that this is the back of the garment. So I'm just going to put a piece of masking tape because I'm using a plain piece of fabric, so therefore it's a bit hard to see the difference between the right side and the wrong side. So so on the wrong side of the garment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch this dart upwards, and then I'm going to find where the little notches have been snipped, and I'm going to join them up. Okay, and then I'm going to place a pin in the fabric to keep that nice and secure. And what we want to do is you want this line, this folded line, to go all the way up to the dart tip. Okay, now I'm going to finger press this, but you might want to get to an iron and give that a nice press. Now, when you get very good at sewing darts, you won't necessarily need to mark the fabric. But as we're beginners, I think it's a really good idea to find a ruler and mark the fabric. So I'm going to do that now. Ruler here. So I'm going to take, again, the notch, the slits where the notches are, and I'm going up to that dart point, and I'm going to, with a piece of chalk actually, I'm just going to mark that line in, and this will be my stitching line. Now when I mark where I'm going to stitch the fabric, you've got to remember that the you always sew with the bulk of your fabric on the left hand side, so you don't want to be marking it back to front because you'll end up sewing with all of this in the throat of your sewing machine. So always make sure you've got the folded edge to your right hand side when you mark your fabric. So that's now marked and it's ready to sew.
So one really useful tip is to place a bit of masking tape where your needle is. So it's got to be in line with your needle, so it's straight down the front of your machine. Okay, so when you are sewing your dart, what you can do is, because this dart is at an angle, it will feel a little bit peculiar sewing it because you're normally used to sewing against your base plate guides. So by sewing it at this angle, it's very common for you to end up either overcompensating or undercompensating. So one thing you can do is, when you're stitching, is to make sure that your dart point, when it gets to the masking tape, is following the edge of that masking tape all the way through. And if you do that, I can guarantee you will have the perfect dart finishing at that dart point every single time. So another really useful tip is to take the tail thread from the thread that's coming from the top of the machine and pull it out probably about 20 centimeters or so, depends how long the dart is. And what you do is you place your fabric in the machine and you do a couple of stitches forward and backwards just to secure everything in. And then by lifting your foot and pulling your tail thread through, you can then place that at the tip of where your dart needs to be. So I'm just going to take out this tail attack because I don't want to sew that in. And then you can sew that into position very easily. And that would negate you from having to do any markings. But that's also a really useful little tip there. The final tip I'm going to talk about is actually just reducing the stitch length a little bit. So when you're sewing a dart, the dart is normally going to be under quite a lot of pressure. It's going to be pulled nice and tight across your body. So if you have a long stitch length, there's a good chance that your threads might end up showing. So instead of having a nice long stitch length, we'll want to shorten it because there's more stitches to hold the fabric together and you get a much more professional finish. So you can see that I started sewing from the base of the dart, and you always start from the base of the dart. You never start on the tip. Even if you're doing a diamond dart or a double dart, you always start from the widest point. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sew up to that tip, the dart point. And I'm just going to finish off by leaving a nice long set of tail threads. Because what we want to do is end up knotting this off. We don't want to reverse it because this is a key part of your garment, and if you put reverse stitches in, it will become a little bit bulky, and you really don't want that. So instead what we do is we simply tie it off like we're doing junior sewing in primary school, just like that. And then once that's been tied, you can snip all that off. But that is ultimately how you sew a dart.
So I'm just going to teach you now about how to press open the darts that we've just sewn. So the position to where you press your darts will vary depending on which part of the garment you're working with. So typically, if you're working on the front of the garment, everything is pushed towards the side seams or down towards the waist. If you're working on the back, it's normally done towards the centre back. But again, it depends very much on a whole range of things like where your zip placement is and what kind of garment you're making. So we're working on a front bodice piece here. So we're going to push these waist darts to the side seams and then the side seam darts down towards the waist. Okay, so they're sort of pointing towards each other. So what is quite tricky about pressing out a dart is that you kind of need to follow the contour it's created. You don't want to press it dead flat because you can see that there are little bits of fabric where you've created that shape. So you want to keep and retain that shape, and therefore you want to kind of lift your garment up, especially when you're at the tip of the dart, and give that a nice press. Okay, and then we'll do the same on this side here. So if you've got a tailor's ham, which is a type of ironing board, then you can utilize that. It's got a rounded edge, which means that you can place your contour that has been created by the darts onto that to keep everything nice and straight. But ultimately, we want those points sitting lovely and straight. We don't want any folds around here, which is the apex of the bust in this instance. So I'll do the other side and I'll show you the result. And that will sit like that.